Yeah, it's so good. And I think I was thinking about all of you as well. When I do these sessions with you, I haven't done them in a while. For me, it's not just an Instagram live, Funke, like you said to me.
Yeah.
I want to put a deposit in people's hearts.
Yeah.
I want people to live well. I
Yeah.
know what it's felt like not to live well emotionally, So I was thinking about all that, to bring, to make a real deposit in the hearts of everyone listening.
Thank you so much. That's what we're praying, that today
Thank you
everybody will live impacted.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you for the welcome, everyone. Oh, I feel so
I
welcome.
missed you.
I feel so welcome and loved. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now I know a lot of people know you, but there's some people who don't know you. So for the benefits of those who don't know who Jane Banfo is, and her Jane is spelled with a Y, J-A-Y, she's unique, Jayne. So it's not Jan, it's spelled Jayne.
Thank you, Just Breathe, yeah.
So Jane is, she's a professional counselor, she's a life coach, she's the associate pastor at Praise Christian Center. And her ministry has been described as one sent to heal the brokenhearted and to speak a word in season to those who are weary. She works with a lot of people who have been through trauma, but she also works with people who are going through all this stuff. So anxiety, depression. And she says that her desire is to empower the body of Christ to walk in the fullness of their God-given destiny. So Jane also has a passion for young people and feels that God has called her to pass on biblical truth and leave a godly legacy of faith in the earth. Jane is married to our dear Pastor Kofi, who helped us. Hi, Pastor Kofi.
He's waving. He's faded into the background.
And she has two beautiful, beautiful daughters. Welcome to Hangout Café again, Jane. We've missed you.
I've missed you too.
So today we're going to be talking about decluttering.
Oh, who is this? Thank you for encouraging me some months ago. Yes, I love you all so much.
Yes. You're quite an encourager, and she's my neighbor.
Nana. Thank you, Nana. Welcome.
She's actually my neighbor, just down the road from each other. Sometimes bump into each other when we go for walks. She's always good for walks. She probably does it more than I do. But she's a wonderful woman, absolutely wonderful woman. I love her dearly. Thank you, Jane.
Love you too.
So today we're going to be talking about decluttering the heart. And, I was thinking, Jane, we're coming to the end of August. Slowly, going to September, seasons are going to change. And I think this is the perfect time for us to begin to declutter the same way we'll declutter our wardrobe.
Yes,
when
absolutely.
Seasons change. It's the same way we should declutter our heart. There's so many things. And I was thinking again.
Oh, Amanda. Yeah.
I think it was last year, I did a blood test. And they said that I had high cholesterol. So I had to change my diet. I had to start to exercise more. And the challenge with high cholesterol is that it can clog the arteries leading to the heart.
Yes.
So I thought, you know what? I made a physical change. I made a change where I have to exercise more, eat better.
Yeah.
So it's the same way. When we have too many things clogging the heart or the arteries leading to the heart, we need to declutter it. So Jane, up to you now.
Okay, so I love definitions. So I want to define what I mean by the word declutter. Yeah. When we say you are decluttering, it means that you are removing unnecessary items.
Okay.
Items from an overcrowded place. But when we bring it to an emotional space, our emotions and our minds, and we gave this topic, decluttering your heart. So when we say you're decluttering your heart, Funke, and to all listening, it means that you are removing untidy, unnecessary, and things that are weighing you down emotionally and mentally from your soul, your heart.
Right.
And just like you said just now about being told about your cholesterol. By the way, a lot of that has got to do with the age as well. I've just found out. So I could tell you a whole thing about that. But many years ago, the Mayo Clinic is a top heart clinic in Minnesota. Minnesota is where I lived as a teenager. The Mayo Clinic did a research in Rochester, Minnesota, and they found out that psychological stress was the strongest predictor of cardiac arrest, including or heart attacks. That a lot of it came from psychological stress. So I cannot emphasize how pertinent decluttering our heart is to all our lives. Even when you were talking about your wardrobe coming into September, before I came to Mabea, I was obviously moving out my swimsuits. And by the way, I only learned how to swim a few years ago, but I have more swimsuits than anybody in my family. I love it. So I was getting my swimsuits and my beach wraps out, and then I discovered all this stuff I haven't worn. I cleared all of them from this corridor wardrobe where I keep towels and stuff. And guess what? When I stood back and looked at it, I can see everything I own. And that's how you want to do with your soul heart, which is your mind, your will, and your emotions. That you have a sit down with yourself. And we can talk about all that today, even in the absence of having therapy, where you do this for yourself. And I do this for myself regularly, where you clear out that unnecessary things that are weighing in on your mind, things that are weighing in on your emotions. And you get rid of them.
Okay. So it's decluttering is removing all the unnecessary things, the things that
regularly getting rid.
Regularly get. So and basically what you're saying, it's not a one-off thing.
No,
it's a regular thing that we need, just like you declutter your wardrobe regularly.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay. So Jane, I might say, oh, I don't think I have anything. I'm fine. How do you know that you actually have things clogging your heart?
I'll give you an example. I can use my own life. I'm very vulnerable. I'm an open book. I've been in therapy as a therapist for many times. And so for me to remain objective and do the work I do. Even when I have a situation or an incident or something happens between a friend, between somebody in my family, and we talk about it, then I find that every so often I am thinking about that person, and I'm thinking about what happened, and it hurts. I haven't finished that thing. And in therapy, we call that unfinished business. So unfinished business is when you have what we call unfinished emotional residue hanging around from other relationships or experiences. So that's when I know, actually, that situation with so and so isn't finished. Because every time it comes up in my mind, my thoughts or my emotions, I feel something that's not positive.
Great.
So then I have to make sure that I process that and put it away in a process place. And that is where the decluttering process is. Because it means it's weighing in on me.
Yes. I love that. So the question we should be asking ourselves is, do I have unfinished emotional residue?
Yes, Funke. You put it very well. Yes.
Unfinished emotional residue. And it's true because sometimes, especially as Christians, we say, I've forgiven this person and let go. But every time you see the person, you have, like you said, negative thoughts. Thanks, Sister Abby. You have negative thoughts about the person. So it's because we have unfinished emotional residue. Good thing.
And clutter weighs us down. I mean, years ago, my husband did a sermon called Running Your Race. And at the time that he did it, this was 2 years ago, actually. It was in the beginning of lockdown or somewhere in lockdown. I have never forgotten the sermon because I had just started to learn how to run. And he talked about how when we're running the spiritual race, when you take off things that weigh you down or weigh you. And some of the things that weigh us down can even be legitimate things, but they don't help speed up our lives. And when he taught that sermon or did that teaching, whenever I'm doing my physical run, and I take off my hoodie, I take off So because I wear layers, because in the winter,
Yeah.
I find I run faster.
When
And
you
when
take
you
off.
bring that comparison to your heart,
Yeah.
remember your heart is your mind, your will, and your emotions. So your heart is really the very center. Actually, let's do this exercise.
Okay.
Funke and everyone listening, I want you to point to yourself.
Okay.
Point to yourself right now.
Okay.
Let me see you point.
I'm pointing.
Where did you point to? Here.
Here,
Your
yes,
heart.
my
You
heart.
didn't point to your head.
Yes.
So your heart
Yes.
is the very center of who you are. That's where you navigate your life, your dreams, your aspirations, your longings. That's where you love from. So when that place is full of things that are not tidy or is heavy, it slows you down on being creative with your life, on loving the way you're supposed to love. So that's why decluttering that space regularly is so pertinent. And so when my husband did that sermon, I discovered that regular decluttering is like always just checking in with yourself. And when we finish today, I'm going to ask everyone, let me tell you the end from the beginning.
Okay.
I want to ask you, how is your heart today?
How is your heart?
How is your heart?
Good question. How is your heart? So at the end, that's what you're going to ask us.
Yeah.
Okay. And one of the things you just said was that sometimes the things that are cluttering our heart, we feel are legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
So we feel like I have the right to hold on to this pain.
Yes.
I have the right not to let go because
Mm-hmm.
you hurt me. Can you speak into that, please?
Yeah, I have a right. I like something that I heard Joyce Meyer say many, many years ago. Mm-hmm. She said that you may have a right to hold this thing against this person.
Right.
But you don't have a reason to. Because you may have a right because they did something to you.
Yes.
That hurt you.
Yes.
But when you look at what was done for you on the cross, you may have a reason to hold on to, but you don't have a right to.
Right. Okay.
You may have a reason that what they did was wrong. It hurt you.
Right.
It blindsided you.
Right.
And all of that. You may have a reason. You have reasons why what was done was done. Mm-hmm. But you don't have a right to because of what Jesus did for you on that cross. And then also because it's going to actually slow you down on your own journey, and in the same way that when you have physical clutter, you have a lot of clothes, a lot of handbags, things that you haven't worn, you open your wardrobe and you can't find something to wear. Mm-hmm. And you have to pull things apart to look through to find something to wear.
Yes.
That means that what that does is that it doesn't help you to get dressed quickly. It slows you down in the same way. And guess what it does? It takes your control. You think that you have control over your life, but actually when we're not organized in our heart as much as our physical life too is not organized, it means that we lack control. You're not really in control. Something else is in control of your life. And so that's why this whole sense of checking in with yourself, and when it comes to forgiveness, some of these people said it sets you free. It's really about you. I read a book several years ago from a man, he's a Stanford researcher. He wrote a book on forgiveness because he couldn't forgive a friend who had hurt him so much. And he did a research and he took forgiveness out of its religious place, took forgiveness out of psychological, and looked at forgiveness. And this is what he said about forgiveness. I've forgotten his name, but the book is called, oh gosh, I've gone blank. It's the Stanford Forgiveness Project, anyway, Stanford University. But he said that forgiveness is renting too much space in your heart to your hurts and wounds. So if you see your heart where you live your life as a house, how much space are you renting out to the man who let you down or the woman who hurt you or the people that wounded you? And how much space? There's a lot of emotional bandwidth that we allocate when we're not decluttering regularly.
Jane, please, can you say that again? Forgiveness is renting too much space. Oh my goodness, this is good. It's renting too much space. Jane, can you hear me now? Right. Are we, Jane?
Yes.
Okay. No, I was going to ask you to repeat that, but I think someone wrote it down. Forgiveness is renting too much space in your heart to the ones who hurt, who wounded us.
Who have wounded you. Yeah, you're renting so much space in your heart.
Wow. Why are you, like you said, why are you allowing them to have so much control over you?
I know that. I mean, I'm a therapist, so I work day to day with hurts and wounds, and I don't in any way minimize the pain that people bring to the therapeutic space.
Yeah.
All emotional healing takes time to heal. Mm-hmm. But what I want to say to everyone listening today and those who will listen is that start the process of unpacking or decluttering, because it will take time. You won't heal today. So like the way that I do it when I'm hurt, I talk about it to God. I'm not a Christian, I have faith. I'll talk to God over and over again about how I feel.
Okay.
I would cry. That's me processing. I would say, God, I bring this pain to your very place of your throne. I would talk about it, and I would say, I release. Then the Stanford forgiveness prayer. Yeah, it's not John Templeton, actually. It's not. The person who did it is not John Templeton. The name will come to me, but it's the Stanford Forgiveness Project. Yeah, somebody's put it there.
Okay.
But it's not John Templeton. I have the guy's name, it will come to me. But what it does is that I will process this thing over and over again, and then I find that one day I would wake up and it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
That's why I know I'm processing. But you have to realize that emotional healing is always a process. It won't take a day. But when you don't even start the process and you keep things in your heart and you store it, it's taking place. Yeah, the book is called Dr. Fred Luskin. Luskin. Dr.
Can you spell that again?
Luskin. Dr. Fred Luskin.
Okay, Fred Luskin. Luskin. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jen, let's talk more about decluttering. I mean,
Okay.
You've started off with some of the things you do, but what are some of the other practical things we can do? Or should it be, what are the practical things we can do?
Okay, so some of the practical things that you can do in decluttering is that you have to own your story. We talk about story, but also own what has happened to you.
What do you mean by that?
To own what has happened to you. Sometimes we don't want to say that this happened. Like somebody said a word to you or made a statement. It could be a husband, it could be a spouse, it could be a father, a parent.
Okay.
And that thing hurt you.
Right.
But to heal, you have to, okay, let me put it this way. You cannot heal. Thank you, Stacy. Appreciate that. You cannot heal what you can't name. Yeah. That's what I mean by owning what has been done.
Okay.
You can't heal what you can't name. So you got to name that I'm suffering from this verbal abuse or this emotional abuse from this person. Own what has been done to you. Because you can't clear it from your heart until you come to terms with what it is that has been done to you. I tell you a story. It's a long story, I'll make it short.
Okay.
And I've done a whole sermon on this. One day I was traveling to America, I was going to Washington.
Right.
And I was trying to pack because from Washington I was going to Nashville for a counselors conference. And I really wanted to go with one suitcase. But when I finished packing, I still had 2 suitcases. I don't travel light, my dear Funke. And so my husband said to me, you know what your problem is with you, Jane? It's not even just your bags, the 2 bags. It's all the other bags in your bag. Because guess what?
What?
In my bag, I have a bag where I keep my makeup. I have a bag where I keep my jewelry. I have a bag where I have a bag called plug and go. I keep all my plugs and my adapters in there. Then I have a bag where I keep my handbags. I have a bag for my shoes. I have so many bags. One time I did a sermon on this. Somebody emailed me and said, where'd you get all these bags? I'm trying to preach for people to be healed. So my husband said to me, it's all your bags inside your bags. So sometimes we think we have decluttered the big things that happen to us on our life journey.
Yeah.
But there will also be things in the bags inside our bags. So we drag that bag, we wheel that bag to a marriage, to a relationship, and we think I already unpacked. But what about the bags inside your bags?
Oh, I love that analogy. I love that.
You know, and so owning your story is looking and saying, it's not about digging. Because when you dig up stuff, you feel negative or bad. No.
Okay.
You know, there's a verse in Proverbs that says, the heart knows its own bitterness. You know what's in your heart. I know what's in my heart. God knows what's in our hearts, but he wants you and I to know what's in our heart. So you need to just, I call it, sit with yourself and know what is weighing me down. And when you know, just ask the Holy Spirit, show me what's weighing me down. If you're not a Christian, I always say to people, do a visualization. Just imagine all the things that you want to do. And just imagine what is holding you back. Because a lot of times we are our own worst enemy. You know, so start with that process first in order to declutter. You know, the second point in decluttering is that you want to live in the present.
Live in the present, okay.
You want to live in the present, you know, because a lot of things from the past, even in our wardrobe, sometimes we are dressing for the woman we want to be, for the woman we were once many years ago. You know, we're holding on to things.
I was a size 10.
I will lose weight and I will wear it.
Yes.
Honey, please let somebody else have that item. You will do better. It will come back to you again. So you have to learn to live in the present, because emotional baggage sometimes is hanging on in the same way in our wardrobes. Our emotional baggage is hanging in our hearts. So it's hanging on the hangers also in our wardrobes. We're holding on to clothes and things we have bought. Oh, I spent money on this, you know, nostalgia, all of that. So, you know, stay in the present, you know, so, you know, but people say, oh, but if I let go of the past, then I'm letting go of the dreams that haven't happened yet. Remember this, even in COVID, you know that a lot of our dreams were held on pause.
Yes.
Or came to a halt. A whole world came to a halt. No, when you live in the present and you have dreams that have not been fulfilled, Funke, and everyone listening, you can retweak dreams. You can rebirth them. Your dreams don't go anywhere, my loves. They are always in your heart.
Yes.
You know, so live in the present, let go of the past, release it, you know, and live in the present, enjoy the present moment, you know, because when you declutter, it helps you also to connect with your authentic self.
Okay. So living it helps you to connect with which is true, your authentic self, the real. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Living in the present. I love that. Okay.
You love that. Hey, Sinead.
What the other thing, you've talked about living in the present, but then there are also people who live in the future, where they're always thinking, I will do this when I become. I will do that when I become. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, that is also, it's like when you live a lot in the future, you are postponing your life. So while we set goals for the future, the best goals are, hi Sinead, my baby, my daughter just joined. Hey, my almost newly married. Can you believe my baby's getting married? Oh my goodness. When you live in the present, also, you want to live in the present whereby you look at what you have now, and the goals that are achievable. That's what I was saying, is that you are small goals. Set the goals, but in small steps. A lot of times we get overwhelmed. You know, our hearts even get overwhelmed. And we feel then all the dreams and the goals are too much for us because we've got too much in there. So I always say, just like a filing cabinet, take all of that goals, put them in a filing cabinet there and said, okay, Jane wants to do this in 5 years. She wants to do this in 3 years, in 2 years. So the goals are still there. Then take small action steps daily. So that way you're not overwhelmed in your heart. Because even stress, a lot of stress is because we are overwhelmed. We have too much going on, you know, and a lot of stress is when we our physiologically in our body and our mind, we can't hold and contain what is going on in us, and it's not organized. Think about even your house. If you bring your shopping in, you know, I'm here in Mabea and I went food shopping yesterday. We brought so much in because we're trying to shop for the time we're here. But guess what? When we brought all the shopping, everything in, then we had to put them away.
Yeah.
And organize
them there.
Yeah. Because when we don't organize it, guess what? When we did organize it, it creates room. It creates capacity to even dream more, to do all those things. So the future isn't bad, but you set the goals, you hold an awareness of what your goals are, and then you set small steps so you're not way down.
Right.
Because a lot of times, Funke, what people are way down, they hold on to things, to experiences, to relationships and things long after those things are over or they are not there yet. You know, in May ending, a good friend of mine passed away. Oh, my heart was so broken. But I always learn, as we all do, from loss.
Yeah.
I learned, or I relearned something that I knew again, which is, Jane, wake up every day and seize the day.
But Jane, you know, we do that all the time when someone passes on. And then time goes and you forget until another one. Why can't we just do that every single day? Why?
Yeah, because we're human beings, we're creatures of habit, and that's why we're having this discussion.
Yeah.
Because these discussions help us to remind us, you know, to kind of reorder our lives, you know. And I told you at the end, I'm going to ask you, how is your heart?
Yeah.
The other thing, I'm doing the end from the beginning again.
Okay, sorry.
The other thing I'm going to ask you at the end is, I want you all to press reset. Press reset on your life. Reset. What do you need to reset today? To sit with yourself and say, I Funke, I Jane, I Joy, you know, I Hezebel woman. What do I need to reset in my life? Because when you press reset, it helps you to not just keep going, you know, and it helps you to just reorder your life for the moment. What do I need right now?
Okay.
You know.
So you're sitting down thinking, what do I need right now?
For me.
For me. What do I need to do right now?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, so I'm thinking, you know, sometimes when maybe it's your computer or TV that goes wrong and something goes wrong, you press reset to start.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You know the British Heart Foundation.
Yeah.
You know that, hey my friend Siju, you know that the human heart, the cardiac heart, the blood pumping heart, can be compared to the soul heart, your mind, your will, and your emotions. And the British Heart Foundation, their slogan is "Fight for every heartbeat."
Oh, wow.
So I want to say to you, wake up every day and fight for your heartbeat.
Wow.
Of your natural life and your spiritual life as well, your emotional life. Fight for every heartbeat. Don't let just it happen to you. Oh, life happens to all of us. All of us, all the time. And my heart was so broken in May when my friend passed away. But I pressed reset.
And that.
Yeah, and I'm still walking through that journey, but I thought I'm going to wake up every day. I was doing that already, but even more so, and I'm going to seize the day. I'm going to take everything that today is bringing me. So sometimes the day doesn't even start right. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. And we all have that. But guess what? You can still reorder your day.
Wow. I love that.
You know, and that is because your heart that's where you live your life. And it's your psyche. It's the seat of your personality. You know, it's where you reflect. It's where your desires are. Your heart is a very precious space. It's where you love. I mean, as women, we know, I mean, I love hard. I'm like my daughter, Sinead. We talk about it. I love hard. So when I get hurt, I get hurt hard as well. But that's okay. And so but I'm going to wake up every day and I'm going to fight for every heartbeat. You know,
I just love that, because I'm just thinking, fight for every heartbeat. I love it. I love it, Jane.
yeah,
Absolutely love it.
yeah,
And I think when we start to think about it like that, hopefully that would help us to reset, to live in the moment. Wow.
yeah,
Because every heartbeat matters. If your
yeah,
heart stops beating
yeah,
now,
yeah,
wow,
yeah,
every heartbeat matters.
yeah.
My goodness. Thank you. Cool. Go on, Jane.
So, yeah, you know, and it's so important about how, you know, when I ask you to point to yourself,
Yeah.
your true self, you pointed to your heart.
Yeah.
You know, and even the Bible talks about it in Proverbs 4:23, one of my favorite scriptures. It says that take care of your heart, for out of it. You know, somebody's put it up there.
Yeah.
Oh, visible woman.
Just
I love
read.
you guys. You're so boring. Oh, I love these women. They're like awesome. For out of it flowed the issues of life.
Yes.
One translation says, for out of your heart flows the forces of your life.
The forces of
So
your life.
the forces of your life. So you want to keep that place, you know, have that moment with yourself, you know, because I'm a very active person. I'm not a very reflective person, but I know reflection is so essential. So guess what? I schedule reflection for myself. You know, and I came across this quote by St. Augustine. Maybe you should post it afterwards. It says this: people travel to wander at the height of mountains. They travel to wander at the huge waves of the sea, at the long courses of rivers, at the vast compass of the ocean, at the circular motion of the stars, and they pass by themselves without wandering.
Wow.
That's how we lose the connection to ourselves.
Oh, yes.
No self-awareness.
Wow.
Yep, reflection is so important.
Very important.
You know,
Very.
and yeah, tonight I'll be speaking to the genocide survivors, my New Hope girls, and because it's August, it's holy. I'll be talking to them about the topic we're talking about tonight is reconnecting to yourself. Because these women are busy, they are mothers, they are also survivors, they're working through their trauma, and they're also trying to live life in the present moment. So every so often, I challenge them and work with them on, what about you? If you were to have a meeting with Jane, and you were to ask Jane, what do you need right now to connect with yourself, you know? Because an unexamined life, Socrates says, it's not worth living.
It's not.
What do you need from you right now? You know?
Jen, I love all these questions that are coming up.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
Yeah, I love those. So ask yourself when you're reflecting, what about me? What do I need for myself? Because sometimes we give, you know, we're always doing for other people. What about me? What do I need from me?
Yeah, because here you are speaking to all of us doing this. What about me? It's not selfish, because it's not, you don't do it every day. What do you need?
Sometimes we're told that it's selfish. You know, life worth living is a life. You know, where it's for other people. That's what we hear people say. Right? Yes, but what about you? You need to sit down and reflect. What do I need for me? What do I need to get through?
Because sometimes when you have no energy and you think, oh, maybe I'm working too hard, you know, and things like that. But what you need is to reflect on what's impacting my energy right now, you know, and it's to somebody exercise that you sit quietly and then you place your hand on your heart and ask your heart, what support do you need right now?
Wow.
Just a simple exercise.
Wow. What support do you need right now?
Right now.
Okay.
Like when you drop into your heart, into your spirit, what support do you need right now?
Okay. Okay. So, what support? I hope you guys are taking down all of this. What support do you need right now?
I like the way somebody put it. How am I caring for myself right now?
Yes.
Okay, so somebody asks, do you mean unforgiveness? No, it's not just unforgiveness, because unforgiveness is maybe something that has been done to you it has hurt you. Because when people hurt us, it causes us pain. Let's not minimize this. But when you hold on to that pain, it will hold you back. And then the person who hurt you is moving forward. And you're not able to live freely. So what you want to do is to say, when so and so did this to me, it hurt me. It made me feel this way. That's called processing. It hurt me. Like, for example, when I get shouted at, I always say to people, it makes me go to a child place. Because I got yelled at a lot when I was a child. And then I say, okay, I'm not that child anymore. I remind myself I'm an adult, even though that hurt me. You know, I'm an adult now. I'm going to take ownership for my life. Because when I talked about owning your stuff, it's also another point you got to realize that you have a choice right now. In that you might not have control over what people say or do to you. But my dear ladies and those listening, you have a choice. A choice on how you will respond. How will I respond?
Have the power of choice.
Yeah, you have the power of choice. The power of choice is one of the most powerful things that God gave you. You know, God even tells us not to choose him or choose him. You know, and you have a choice. You know, and so even though it hurts initially, you said, I'm going to take care of me. Yes, Siju, I'm going to take care of Sarah. Take care of me. You know, you have a choice. This hurts. So what I do, I repeat things over and over again. And then one day I wake up and my heart doesn't hurt anymore. And I know I've dropped it. Yeah. But I talk to God about it. You know, since I've been running in the woods, I worship and I talk to God. God, this hurts. God, I want to let it go. Because I know if I hold on to it, it's going to impact me, not the person who's hurt me.
True.
And I need to learn freely. If it's a situation where I can confront the person, I will. But then if I can't, guess what I do? I heal, and then next thing, I set a boundary with that relationship.
Okay, Jane, let me ask you a question. In case of someone who was abused as a child, and of course that has affected her or him right now. You know, when we talk about the power of a choice, that person might say, I didn't have a choice in what happened. And I don't have a choice in the fact that this has shaped my life. So how do I start to take control of my life?
Okay, so when we were children and we're young and we're not taught our physical boundaries and our emotional boundaries, that we can own our thoughts, we can own our emotions. That's what we call by emotional boundary. And physical boundary is the space of our body. Who touches us where? I tell parents, teach your children who touches you where. And who doesn't touch you where. We don't. So when you were a child, somebody took control, and they abused you, and they took the very essence. But today, here now, as you heal, you have a choice that I will not allow anyone to come to this physical space. So when I'm working with abuse, I tell people, you have to, when you start dating somebody who has been abused. When somebody touches them, let's say they're dating somebody, some of them can freeze. That's their trigger. Because they think, because the body in trauma, the body remembers what the mind doesn't. So when you touch them, and that way it causes a sexual arousal or something, the body freezes. So you can say when you're dating somebody, I am not comfortable with this. I'm comfortable with just you patting me, you holding my hand. Without even telling the person you've been abused. You don't have to go into everything immediately when you start dating somebody. So you're setting a boundary on your heart by saying, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm comfortable with just touching my hand. I'm comfortable with just hand holding. You start to set a boundary. Because when you were younger and you were abused, other people took control of your body, took control of your emotional space, your physical space. But here today, you have a choice. And we teach, you have to learn to recover your power of choice, especially when your choice has been taken away from you. Especially in the cultures like where I grew up, adults were always right and children were always wrong. So as a result, a lot of people couldn't assert their boundaries. So I practice boundaries with my clients. I say to people, write on a piece of paper who you are, what you want. Jane, I don't like this. I don't like this. And then practice it. Because you want to look in the mirror and practice it. Because the fact that you've set a boundary for yourself doesn't mean those boundaries will work. Boundaries are like muscles. Funke. You know how we have muscles?
Yeah.
You have to exercise before you get that definition in your arm.
Yeah.
The same with boundaries. Practice.
Do you know, talking about boundaries, I know we've digressed a bit, but I was just thinking that part of the challenge is that we don't even know what our boundaries are.
Yeah.
But if we did this exercise that you just said, where we wrote down the things I will accept, I will not accept, things I want, then when they happen, you know that this, I would not accept this.
Yes.
You know, but if we don't know, we're just accepting anything, then people will take control of our choices.
Yeah, you have to practice your boundaries, and so you even have to learn to practice boundary language. I will not. I am not comfortable.
Okay.
This is not okay with me.
Boundary language.
Like boundary language, things, you know, and when you are assertive, the word assertive means you are able to communicate your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs without aggression. So you're not shouting at anybody.
Jane, that is so good, because, you know, sometimes we come across as the angry black woman.
Yeah, I hate that. You know, so you go. So an assertive person means the ability to communicate your thoughts, your beliefs, and your feelings without aggression. You just, I'm not comfortable with this. You know, I was paying for something in Marks and Spencer once, a few years ago, way before Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Then when I got to the till, I said to this woman, I said to the checkout girl, oh my goodness, I wanted to get this thing. I couldn't find it. She said, it's right there, go and get it. Then I said, oh no, I can't, because there's somebody behind me. She said, no, I said, go and get it.
Okay.
And I'll ring this. So I was trying to go and get it, and the woman behind me started shouting and abusing me. She's a white lady, nothing against white people, but this particular one was. No. And I turned to her and I said, you will not speak to me in that condescending voice and tone. She asked me to go and get that.
Yeah.
And guess what? She went, I didn't shout. I am not angry. I'm not an angry black woman. I'm a very happy black woman. You know, I'm very content. And I just said that. And you know, when I walked to my car, I went, oh, well done, Jane. Because years ago, I wouldn't have said anything. I just said I will not be spoken to in that tone of voice, that condescending tone of voice. She asked me to go and get that. Yeah. Wow. I've been practicing. I didn't get it because I'm a therapist or because I'm this. I practice the very things I'm teaching my clients, the things that I'm working with, I'm practicing. That's why I always say being a therapist is also a privilege, because my clients teach me so much. I get to go on a journey with them whilst God heals their hearts, but they teach me so much as well. And so I thank God for the honor of the work I do as well.
Well, I love that. Practice your boundary language.
Yeah, practice your boundary language. Yeah.
Wow, this is,
you know, and take ownership of your life, you know, and you know, disappointment, hurt, they are part of the journey. But we have to declutter, keep cleaning our hearts out, you know, keep rearranging stuff. That's what decluttering is. Yeah. So you don't always throw things away. We don't throw the baby out with the bath water. We don't throw all our relationships out because one person hurt us. But decluttering means you rearrange it. You get rid of some stuff and you arrange. Instead, when you rearrange your wardrobe, your house, your space, so you have room, so you can see what you have, so you can enjoy your space. So is your heart, where you navigate your life from. So regular decluttering is rearranging that heart, you know, or even doing this, which is what I call the search me, oh God. When you sit down with yourself, Psalm 139, search me, oh God, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. It's a way of saying, God, because God knows your heart. Yes. But he wants you to know what is in your heart. Yeah.
We don't know what is in our heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when we declutter, like you said, you can get to the back of the wardrobe and see the things that...
Yes, the back of the wardrobe. Yeah.
You get to the back of... Whoa, gosh, this has been great, Jane. Anything else? Anything else?
Relationships. Okay. You know, we need relationships. But relationships also, I always say relationships is like a vessel that we drink out of.
Okay.
We need them to enrich our lives.
Yeah.
However, relationships can also hurt us.
Oh, yeah.
And I learned something years ago about relationships when I was at a conference once, that relationships are 3 ways I do relationships that helps my heart.
Okay. What are the 3?
But more authenticity with all. So you're authentic with all. This is the real Jane. I'm hiding nothing.
Yeah.
Authenticity with all.
Yeah.
Transparency with most.
Transparency with most. Okay.
And intimacy with only a few.
Intimacy with only.
So the word intimacy means intima, from the innermost being. So you're not going to go and share your intimmost
with everyone,
all the depth with anyone, just a few. Because remember, we're talking about our heart. Yeah. We're talking about looking after our heart. So authenticity with all. What's authenticity? Being you, being your real self.
Yeah.
Who you are.
Yeah.
With all. So that's the self, by God's grace, I bring to this space today.
Yeah.
Transparency with most.
Yeah.
But those who know the nitty-gritty are only a few. So these are just some guidelines to help you in your relationships and with how you take care of your heart. You know, when that verse, keep and guard your heart,
yes,
it's actually saying that the responsibility for looking after your heart is mine and yours. Yeah. You're responsible for looking after your heart.
Folks, please, did you hear that? Authenticity with all, be your true self. Transparency with most, but
yes,
intimacy with a few,
yeah,
not the whole world and her sister.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You can't be intimate with everybody. I mean, even if you think about the physical bit of being intimacy,
yes,
it can't be intimacy with everybody.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jane, for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So because emotional decluttering, few last words, will help you to move from your past and the hurts experiences. When you declutter, it will help you know what is it from the past you're holding on to.
Okay.
Decluttering will also energize you. It will help you to move forward.
Okay.
You can declutter through journaling. You know, if you're a journaling person, you write out the things and what is done to you, because writing releases, you know, as well. So you can do it that go, you know, you can let it go that way as well. And then you can visualization also, imagine yourself, what has been done, and then in that visualization space, seeing yourself letting it go. Right. So there are different ways that you can declutter. And above all, when I declutter my wardrobe, when I declutter my heart, guess what it does? What? It brings me joy. And that's what you want. That's how you want to live, joyfully. Yeah. Joyfully. Yeah. Because happiness is happenstance. Something happy happens. But joy is on the inside. Yes. And all our feelings are inside us. It works inside out. So when you declutter, then you have room to live joyfully.
That's so true. That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. Jane, there's a question. And if you've got any question, please put it in the question box. There's a question for you.
Okay.
Is it possible that we sometimes need help to do the decluttering for those that may not be able to get there alone?
But that's where you talk to a pastor, you talk to a therapist, and sometimes it's not not everybody has to go into long-term therapy. Okay. There's something also called solution-focused work, where somebody comes into therapy for a specific job, to work on a specific thing, where somebody can travel with you and guide you and help you unpack. Okay. So sometimes it's hard to get to it yourself. So there are exercises, there are things that you can be done to help you to heal and to unpack your heart. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to do it yourself.
On your own, yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess there's that fear of going down that journey. But like you said, you can speak to...
Thank you, ladies.
You can speak to a pastor, speak to a therapist, a counselor, but don't do it alone.
Yeah.
Don't do it alone. Get help. And there's nothing wrong with seeking help, even as...
no.
In fact, I saw somebody posted something during the week about you still have faith in Jesus, even if you see a therapist. So,
but Jesus was with the one-on-one with John, then he was with the 3, then he was with the 12, then he was with the hundreds.
Yeah.
So he did work in different groups.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, okay. Any other question for Jane? Before this has been amazing.
Hey, Bookie. It's
Bookie's
good to
just
see you.
joined.
Yeah. Good to see you all, ladies. Yeah, to be here with
All
you
you
today.
people are here.
Thank you so much for
Okay,
sharing.
Jane, any last word before you're going to ask us that question again at the end before we
Yeah,
go?
and that's the question I said in the beginning.
Yes.
And that's the question that I want to ask you again is, how is your heart? How is your heart? Have you checked in with yourself on how your heart is? You know, just put your right hand here and ask, how is my heart? How is your heart?
My heart. How is my heart?
There's no judgment, my loves. There is no shame. There's no shame in this space. There's no shame. You know, Jesus came to actually do this. So just check in with yourself. How is my heart? What's holding me back?
Yeah.
What's holding me down? How is my heart?
What's holding me back?
Remember that in order even to heal anything that is weighing you down, healing always, this is the part of healing that we don't like. Healing always includes leaning into discomfort.
I love that.
But,
healing.
Yeah, but at the end you'll be healed. But it will involve a bit of discomfort.
Wow. Because it's difficult to go back there.
Yeah.
But that's where your healing will come from.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so how is my heart? Checking is about also audit, like an audit. When a financial auditor comes, they come and look into your books and they look at what is there. Is everything in order?
Yeah.
So when you check in with yourself, you're doing an audit of your heart. And remember what I said in the beginning, that an emotional audit impacts you psychologically and physically.
Yes.
How your cardiac heart also is, you know, and so that is so important.
Oh, wow.
That you do that audit and check in with yourself, you know, and live in the present moment.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, there'll be a record. It'll be record. What am I trying to say? Yes, it'll be posted on put on YouTube in a couple of hours. So yes, you can listen to it again.
Good.
Question, Jane.
Yes.
There's a question. What to do when someone violates your boundaries?
It depends on, it's a very big question. It depends on the level of the relationship of who you are with that person. But when somebody violates any boundary, you have to go to reset your boundary. It depends on who it is.
Okay.
You see, there are people that have relationships that have hurt me. I have forgiven. I know I have. I've dealt with it. But guess what? I won't bring them close to my heart. God never told us to trust anybody. He called us to love people. I won't bring them this close. I have a place where I hold them. Yeah. So that's the boundary. So what the boundaries that you keep on holding out the boundary? Because when you have a boundary that you say this is the line, there are always going to be people who push that boundary. Absolutely. You have to bring it back. There are people who don't hear our boundaries because they have no boundaries.
Yeah, no matter what you do.
Yeah, and that's why I said boundaries is about exercising. So it depends on the relationship and who it is that has hurt you.
Okay.
Yeah, but when I'm resetting boundaries with people, I always, when I'm going through my own healing with anything that's happened, I check that in my heart, I'm not holding any unforgiveness. I've dealt with it. Okay. But then, hello, my love, Joy. It's good to see you, Joyce. I always make sure that I'm not holding anything, but that when they push it, that I hold that boundary. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. I hope that has helped.
Because boundaries is your life. It's who you are.
Yes.
It's who you are.
Yes.
So we're talking about decluttering your heart, making the analogy of the soul heart to the physical cardiac heart. So when we think about how the cardiac heart is the blood pumping station, and if our heart ceases, we're gone. So our soul heart is where we live our lives, our joy, our energy, our creativity, the way we love, all comes from that soul heart. And that's why it needs care, it needs attention. This is not a light topic. This is an important topic that we're talking about today.
It's so important, so important. And like has been put, I think since Abby put that, and a lot of people, we really have to listen to this again and again and again, because this is not just something you're going to hear once.
Yes.
And please
Yeah.
share it with other people, because there are lots of people who are not here, but they need to hear it. We need to declutter our heart. It's just not worth it. It's not worth holding on to stuff or forgiveness, pain.
Yeah.
We just need to
I mean, boundaries is so important. I feel like it's a topic that we have to visit over and over again. All of us in our individual lives. Like one of my friends is on now, Joyce. She was just saying that some people don't hear our boundaries. Yes, there are people who don't hear it.
Yeah.
And you have to just keep telling them that, you know, boundaries is about your worth and value.
Yes.
It's about your your boundaries are about your worth and value. It's saying, this is me. I'm worth this. I won't be treated in this way.
Absolutely.
It's not about shouting them out from the roof or yelling or being an angry woman. No. It's just saying that, no, this is me. You know, I will not like to be spoken to in that way. Just drop your voice an octave, be assertive, upright, and say, I will not be spoken to in that way.
I love that.
Yeah.
I will not be spoken. It's not the angry, remember, it's not the angry black woman.
No, we're not angry people. We're cool women. We're cool people.
The happy black woman.
We're cool. We're cool and collected. Yeah. Oh, Design Coco said 10 says, I'm not the same person who joined an hour ago. Bless you. Take ownership of your life. Your life is so worthy. Yeah, and just go for it. One step at a time, every day. Yeah, every day. Just a step at a time. Yeah.
Once you want Jane to be your therapist, seriously.
Pardon?
I said, anyone who wants you to be their therapist, seriously. I would just love to sit down and listen. Maybe I should book a session just to listen to you talk. I could listen to you talk all day.
You are too funny. We talk all the time. Yeah.
No, but Jane, this has been really, really good. And if you want, you know, I was talking about, you know, she's a therapist, counselor, life coach, but she's got availability for one-to-one clients from September when she resumes. But she's also doing a group process living emotionally healthy session from the 10th of September for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
If you want to join the group therapy, I'm sure she's going to post it in a few.
Oh, Stacy, love you back. Yeah. So my emotionally healthy sessions are good.
When are you going to start posting? How do they register if they want to join?
You can go to my website and janebanfo.com. And it's 6 sessions where I work with you. It's a small group. It's very confidential. It's very safe. But I have a new thing I'm working on for next year. And I'm going to announce it soon. It's called the Emotionally Healthy Boot Camp, where I'm going to take you away, a few people away for a weekend. And any boot camp.
I'm on.
Yeah, I take you away for a weekend and I work on you. Honey, we will work and get that stuff so you can live your life.
I've registered.
So I'm working on that. I take a few people away and we work on your stuff. Yeah.
See, people that say
Joy, potential stylist.
Yeah.
You know, Joy is a stylist. She styles the wardrobe. I style the heart and get your heart sorted. Yeah, I love you all, ladies. It's been a joy always to be with you. From sunny Mabea, where I have the beach, but you don't have the beach.
We don't have the beach. But thank you so much, Jane. This has been absolutely worth it. Really worth it. We can't wait for your boot camp next year. We're all going to register. I hope you have enough space for all of us.
I will do my best for but remember also, decluttering is about traveling light.
Yes.
You know, when we're coming here to Mabea, my husband lifted my bag and he says, oh, your trolley is very light for once. I said, yes, I'm going light this time. And guess what? It makes you just pick up on yourself. The same with your heart.
Yeah.
You know, put your right hand on your heart right now, even as we draw this to a close. And just, it's beating. That's why you're here today. It's so important, your heart. So important. Just feel that beat.
What you said, fight for every heartbeat, Jane. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, traveling light. I like that, sis. I'm traveling light.
Yes, so Zion, travel light. We'll be at the boot camp. So I'm launching that next year in the fall for next year.
Okay.
Only a small group. I'm going to take you away for a weekend and I'm going to work you. It's not for the faint-hearted. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to cause you to rise up. We're going to take your pain. We're going to burn it. We're going to help you walk on fire. And you come back fierce, fearless.
Woo!
And ready to face.
Fearless.
Yeah,
I
ready
love
to face
that.
them.
Fierce and fearless. Oh
Oh
gosh.
gosh.
Thank you so much, Jane. God bless you.
Thank you
Guys,
for
thank
having
you,
me.
everyone. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This has been a great, great session. Jane, you are simply the best. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you all.
God
Travel
bless
light. I
you.
love you, Siju. All of you out there. Love you so much for joining and for Hangout Cafe for having me. And yeah, travel light. Look after your heart.
Yes.
Look after your heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful people. Look after your heart.
Enjoy
I
your
will enjoy my
holiday.
holiday.
See you. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Thanks for joining us. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.